Yes, guys, welcome to your Chelsea v Everton preview. In this video, we're going to be going through the preview. We will be bringing up some news as well, some stuff what's come out. So yeah, make sure you stay strapped in. Sorry, guys, for no uploads over the past 3 days. Really bad earache, which leads to headaches and side of my neck aching. I was just not really in the mood to be filming right over the last 2 days. Not saying that I'm in the mood today, but I wanted to get something up for you guys, so you have something to watch, and also so I don't go into the review tomorrow with no preview. But yeah, let's start off with the news, and then we'll lead into a preview. We have a protest. Yeah. This club's organised, well, not the club, but not a Project FC, which, by the way, wholeheartedly hate the account. All the one or two protests we've done, we hate Tottenham. Funny honestly. But yeah, we got a protest before the Man United game. I'm not here to advertise for protest, but just thought if you are interested, before the Manchester United game, and it is going to be in collaboration with the Strasbourg Ultras in London. Even funnier, it's like if you can't do it alone, invite a friend. Call a friend from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. But yeah, am I in support of these protests? No, actually, I'm not in support of these protests because the ownership hasn't done as bad as these fans make out to be. We are more stable. We aren't sacking managers every 2 months. We aren't selling old players every season. We are trying to keep a good core. We are trying to build a squad for the future and for the now. So, yeah, okay, it's not like a 35-year-old squad, but there's a good effort in the squad. And sure, you could argue that it needs one or two more slightly older players, but the club can sort out if they want to. But protest? No. Obviously, I feel like the heavy defeat to PSG hasn't really helped anything, hasn't really helped the ownership stance. But yeah, protest before Man United game. Hope it goes badly so I can laugh. Now let's move on to the next piece of news. We are being linked heavily by Fabrizio Romano, by people in Germany, to Said El Mala, clone winger, 19-year-old, top talent. I've seen him play one or two times. Top talent. Do I think we need a top talent right now? No. Nor do I think we need Yildiz, which some fans are absolutely obsessed with, by the way. But Almala, this might be a Strasbourg thing, but we don't need another 19-year-old. And we're competing with Newcastle and Brighton, and apparently outside talks by Munich. But there's no reason for us to be needing a 19-year-old right now. If we bring him in, there, that's what he can do. But please, we need a winger. We need a actual winger. And Almala does not tick the boxes of what I think we need, which is a 22-23 Premier League experience winger. Or just someone at the age who's played in the Champions League season in season out who knows how to play football. Because right now our left wingers don't know how to beat their man. They're kind of bad. When it comes to other stuff, there's obviously the Enzo Fernandez quotes. He did answer fans on the Zone yesterday, and he said word by word, I'm very comfortable at Chelsea, when answering a fan of his about returning to River Plate. He did say maybe down the line, but right now he's really comfortable at Chelsea. He also answered a question, is London red or blue? He just puts blue with a bunch of E's. clearly loves the club and clearly wants the best for the club. And reportedly there has been a few disagreements over his contract between his side and the club. He wants to renew though, but yeah, that is for the club and him to sort out. But I do expect him to still be at the club for the next 5 seasons. Hopefully I'm not wrong, because I love Enzo Fernandez. One of my favourite players at Chelsea, and would be really sad to see him go. He shows passion, and no one really shows that passion anymore. He does so on and off the pitch. And yeah, obviously, I think after the PSG game, he did come out and says, I don't know, he'll decide his future after the World Cup. But there's already been hints that he's going to stay based on the DAZN stuff yesterday, and the fact that they're still in contract negotiations. There has been a brief thing coming out from Max, London's first, or FC Max, whatever, FS Max, whatever, post from the club saying that they are willing to spend big money, transfer fees, just not high wages. They believe they have to earn their way up the wage ladder, which I agree with personally. I do agree with it. But yeah, I spent 7 minutes talking about news. Let's get right into a preview. Everton Football Club, really good side this season. David Moyes has set them up nicely. The way they defend, the way they can get forward, it's superb to watch. And obviously last night we did win 2-0, 2-1. So there is a chance that we do get this again, where we play well and we'll probably concede. Obviously that was under, wasn't it? No, it was under Maresca. But I do see us as favourites this game either way at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Chelsea recently haven't been in the greatest form. 3 losses out of the last 3. Got humiliated by PSG. I literally had so much going on in my head outside of football, so I didn't even film review for that. But yeah, just know I was furious. And the Newcastle game, I did post my thoughts on that game. We had so many chances, we were not clinical enough. We need to be clinical. We are so good going forward, I will say. But when it comes to defensively, oh my gosh, there's like a big gap. And it's like, we need to change something defensively. Off the ball, we are not good enough. We are nowhere near good enough. The goal we conceded against Newcastle, big gap. Big gap. What will it manage to get through? PSG, we made too many mistakes on the ball. What caused them to score? And it's those individual errors what lost the game for us, what lost the Newcastle game. We need to cut them out, but will we? Probably not. Rosnia did say that before the PSG game, that needed to be a perfect game. That was not a perfect game. But yeah, we need to see a really good reaction from the players, both on and off the ball. Let's get right into my Chelsea lineup. In goal, Robert Sanchez. Do we have anyone else? No, but I do think his last few performances has been quite lackluster, quite below par, quite below the standard I've seen him play all this season. At the back, I'm going with Malagusto. I am going to go with Chalobah. I'm going to go with Sarr. And I'm going to go with Hato. This back line I want to see, because Hato is doing way better than Cucurella right now. And look, Cucurella may be our better left back quality. But in terms of form, Hato's doing amazing. Sarr, I feel like the PSG game was a rough game for him. He made a mistake for a first goal, couldn't properly control it, and gave it away to Kvaratskhelia. But do I think he should be dropped? No, I don't want to see tossing. I just realised Talibah's injured. My mind, my brain. Sarr and Aksampong, give that to me. But yeah, I don't want to see any of the Chuckle brothers, which is Tostin and Badiashile. I don't want to see either of them start tomorrow. I want to see Sarr and at some point or slot Kuku at left back, Hato at centre back. Hato did really, really well against PSG. I was impressed, so I want to see him start. In the midfield pivot, I'm going to go with Santos and Caicedo. And then in the 10, I'm going with Enzo Fernandez. Obviously, the future of Enzo Fernandez is in the air, but I do think he stays, like I said. But we need to go with this midfield pivot and Enzo Fernandez in the 10. And I've dropped Palmer, by the way. I've dropped Palmer. I'll get onto that in a second. But yeah, Santos, Caicedo are doing really well this season under Rosinia and under Maresca. And then Enzo has been good all season under both managers. So I think all three should start. On the right, I'm going with Esteval. I see him starting and I see him getting 45 minutes. And on the left, I'm going to go with, it's either Garnacho or Neto for me. And I'm going to go with Garnacho because I just don't think Neto is good enough at the moment to start. He's not really been in good form and his discipline hasn't been great. And Garnacho didn't start PSG, so I see him starting Chelsea. I see him starting Everton. And up front, I'm going with Pedro. No comments needed. We don't want Delap starting this game against Everton. Look, the only reason why I see Delap starting is because Pedro hasn't scored in a few games. But even then, Rodinia did come out and say that he's a world-class striker, Pedro. My score prediction, I'm going with a 3-1 win. I think we get a really good reaction from the players. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for a review. I'll see you guys on Sunday for a football roundup as we have a superb football roundup this week. Carabao Cup final, Tyneside derby. We have the relegation scrapper in between Tottenham and Forest. Superb week ahead. Thank you so much for watching and peace.